Okay, so then a house that's already built and we want to retrofit that house to be energy efficient, you know, that has little energy efficiency to begin with, how do you start with that?
Look at the ceilings first, so you assess the ceilings, and nowadays that you've got a minimum R value which they put into the ceiling. So an R value is determined by how much air flows through the actual bat or the product. So if you're comparing apples with apples, an R4 polyester is the same as an R4 in the fiberglass and cellulose. So you'd assess the house like that. You would assume that there's nothing there, so R4 being the minimum, you could go up to R6 if you needed to.
Is there like a, sorry to interrupt, is there like an average that most people go for?
Well, your minimums nowadays is R4. I wouldn't put anything less in a ceiling rather than an R4. So that's what your bare minimum is.
And how do people choose? It's based on what they can afford?
What they can afford generally, yeah. So it starts off on the R value with what they can afford, and then they look at the different products, the three different materials that you can use, and then choose from there. So the cheapest one being the blow-in, the cellulose, but also being the most effective. So from there we can go to the walls, assess the walls. Generally it's just by looking down the cavity, sliding up a tile, and you can see the wall cavity from there. With a tin, anything with a colour bond or a tin roof, usually take off a PowerPoint or just to have a look around that area there. And likewise with the floors, if you're not on a slab like yourself, usually crawling in underneath the floor and assessing it from there.